Hello everyone, I'm welcoming you all once again to this channel. Today I'm going to make a video on the NBO calculation using our Gaussian software. So this NBO calculation is what? This is the natural bond orbital calculation, and typically this is a kind of post processing method used in the quantum chemistry to interpret the electronic structure of molecules in terms of chemical intuitive concepts like bonds and lone pair, hybridization, charge transfer, and so on. So here to do that calculation, I have taken the water molecule. So first I am going to open that water molecule input file, that is this water.gjf, using our Gauss view software. So here we have this water molecule. This is our input where the bond and angle things within this OH and OHO is not like HOH is not correct. So here we will go ahead with the optimization. So here we are going to do the optimization, and then the method we have taken this DFT method of B3LYP functional. Then this is our basis set, and here you can simply run this optimization calculation. So here I am submitting this simulation, and let's wait for the result. And here we got our result, and now I'm going to open this log file here. You see that now we have got our correctly optimized water molecule, and here the OH bond distance is 0.96 angstrom, and the angle we can also measure, and this angle between this HOH is 105.04. Okay, now this molecule is completely optimized. Next, what we can do, so simply from this water.log I can go ahead with another calculation, and here we will do some changes. So as we have already optimized this molecule, we don't want to optimize this again. So here I am choosing energy instead of optimization, and in the method section everything is same. We don't want to do anything over here, and same basis set and same functional we are going to use. And here you can give the title as NBO water, and in the link if you want to give and assign some processor, you can do that. Here also I am suppose giving this 4 here, because my molecule is very small. And here in the general also we don't have anything to change. Here also let's come to here there is option like right, like perform NBO calculation. We here it was by default it has been chosen as no NBO, but we want to do this full NBO calculation here. And also it another option is here, save orbitals to the checkpoint file, and the default option is don't save, keep it canonical orbital. No, we want to save that NBOs. So here we have chosen this save NBOs. And also if you want the label of output at every geometry, you can also save that. But here we don't want to do in geometry thing, that's why we will have only a single step, so no need to save that, it will be automatically saved. And if you want your charge files, like here you see save charges latter and all, don't save or something. So if you want to save that, we can also do that save. But here I'm not going to choose anything, rather here we can choose this Hisker field, hits field CM and CM5 charges. So you can simply click on this, then you see here what happened. Now your population type is Hirschfeld and NBO, then save NBOs. Okay, so this much is okay. We are going to do this NBO after saving that NBO, and our charges will be calculated in this format. Okay, so this part is done. And here another important thing is, here we need to add one extra tag. So that extra input I'm adding, as you can see, first this dollar sign, then this NBO, and then this bond index. So BND IDX. Okay, this is for the bond index, and then dollar sign, then end simply. So this much you need to write. As we are in NBO, what we are going to do, we are mainly working on this bond charges and this heterojunction charge transfer donor and acceptor interaction. So various thing we can work, like we can predict from this thing. And typically people do this calculation when they have something, like suppose they have two complex, they have one molecule and over that they have another molecule and they want to see their interaction and all. So there this bond charges and how much charge is getting transferred from one to another is very much helpful to analyze the result. So in those scenario people use this kind of calculation, but still we can use this for a single molecule as well. And now let's go and submit the simulation. And here instead of water I am giving the name as NBO water. Let's save this and submit the simulation. Let's wait for the simulation to get over. Now you see within very less time it's over, and I'm going to open the output for that. Here you see we have the NBO as, like this is our NBO log file. And here I can show you in the result section. I can go to the charge distribution, and instead of molecule charge here we will choose this Hertz field because we have chosen this Hertz field. Okay, so here I am choosing this Hertz field and I am showing the number. Now you see that this is the number what our NBO Hertz field charge calculation has given to us. And here I was already having this water log file that was without NBO. That also I am going to open. Here you see, if I am going to this charge distribution and in the option I am only getting this molecule charge, so there is no option to choose any other number. So if I am making this so number, now you see what is the difference. Here the charge value is different than the NBO, right? So what is the thing that is happening here, and why molecule charge is giving this number, why this Hertz field charge is giving this number? So the difference between them is what? This molecule charge. This molecule charge typically calculate the charges on the atom in a molecule using the basis function. Okay, like the basis set that we have used, based on that it will calculate the charge. But during NBO this Hertz field will take the real space and it will calculate the charge based on the electron density. Okay, so that's why this number is different. Let's also go for other different values. So CM pipe is showing another different value, and NBO is also giving another different value. So all these thing is only about their function, like why they have been, how they have been defined during the calculation of NBO, and which charge we want to go ahead with. So that based on that we have different values. So if you will go ahead with this Hertz field charge, so typically people accept during any publication, people accept this Hertz field charge because it is related to the real space electron density. That's why this charge value is considerable. And okay, now what we will do, let's close this. And here I'm going to open the NBO log file so that we can see what kind of calculation it does. Here you see that, let me make it a big screen, and here you see what we have. This is the log file for the NBO, and here you see first these are the input that we have given, and this is how the molecule has been defined and all. Then the type and a single optimization thing it has been performed. Next, here you see that it has been started with the Gaussian NBO version 3.1, that is a natural atomic orbital and natural bond orbital analysis. And from here this analyzing the SCF density. After analyzing this SCF density, it has been shown that the natural population thing, natural atomic orbital occupancies and the energy corresponding to those orbital. Suppose this hydrogen atom, it has s orbital and p orbital as it has been given over here. Like how much the contribution, like the occupancy within different orbital is how much, it is showing that value. You see the value for this 1s orbital is occupancy is much higher, and corresponding to that the energy is lower, Right. That means this is the most stable. We can say, like, as the energy is lower, we can say this is the most stable where the electron can lie. And this way you can see for other hydrogen and how it has been given this uh, this ASP, and also the components of like PX, PY, PZ and all, and what is their values and what is their occupancies and energies, it has been also given. And similarly for oxygen also it has been given, and here you can find. Next here, another thing is that here we will find one value, that is, yeah, here you see that the threshold for printing is 0.50 kilocalorie per mole. So this is what, like, second order perturbation theory analysis. So this is the energy of the second order perturbation. So we know that this E2 is the second order perturbation energy that can also be calculated by using this NBO analysis, and from here the value you can find for your molecule or for your complex. And this is how you can go ahead with checking little bit like what kind of information you can get. And here you see that this E2 is nothing but our second order perturbation energy, and this is how it has been printed. And yeah, so this much for this NBO calculation and all. uh, and I hope it will help you for doing some calculation and understanding this NBO and why we are going to do that. And yeah, this much for today's video, and thank you all. Bye bye.